Morning mountain chums, me again today. Today you find me beside Glenridding Beck, heading up, well, ultimately Helvellyn, but everyone does Helvellyn, so let's have a look at Raise first, and Whiteside, then Helvellyn, and then Catstycam. We start out of Glenridding, follow Glenridding Beck up to Rattlebeck Bridge, where we turn right and head over to the other side of the valley. Up until Rattlebeck Bridge, this is basically the same route as the way up Striding Edge, should you wish to do Striding Edge. And it's good, Striding Edge, but it's quite popular, and I thought it might be a nice change to do a slightly different approach to Helvellyn. Glenridding Beck looks fairly gentle today, but at various points of history, including not that long ago, it's been fairly destructive to the town of Glenridding itself. Come out of the campsite and turn left, head on up the little hill here. I think that's Birkhouse Moor off to the left. At this junction you can take the left, head on towards Helvellyn via Striding Edge, or we're going to turn right, head towards Greenside Road and head up the valley. There's a great deal of evidence of Glenridding's industrial past up here, with smelting flues and mine workings. This is the Greenside Road, and it heads up to the youth hostel and various bits of accommodation. We're going to stay on this side of the valley and head on up towards Raise, following the old pony track. In the Victorian era, tourists would perch upon donkeys and be graciously, or possibly uncomfortably, carried up to the view of Helvellyn. This little wood is home to tree creepers, I recall, and doubtless other lovely wildlife. It's quite overcast, but it's been a hot few days, and I suspect it's going to get hotter still as the day goes on. There's a choice of routes here. If you carry straight on, you get to Red Tarn and Helvellyn, or as we're going to do, turn right, which is signposted Helvellyn via Whiteside, avoiding the edges, and Styx Pass, or Pass. We'll be coming back down past the Red Tarn route, so we will see that in due course. At this junction you can turn right and head up Styx Pass, which is another perfectly good way up Raise, or, as we're going to do, carry straight on along the old pony track towards Helvellyn via Whiteside, and then zigzag up to the right, up towards Raise. Directly ahead, with its head in the clouds, is Catstycam, or Catstycam. It would be nice if that were to lift before we get there, but you know, this is the definition of optimism. Heading out for a hill walk where you can't necessarily see the tops. think one should resist the temptation to describe anything particularly hilly as alpine, but this does feel quite alpine. You can really imagine Victorian tourists on poor little donkeys trotting up here, looking at the view. This path is beautifully pitched for, I presume, donkey hoofs. Pretty soon we'll be breaking right up over Keppel Cove and Red Screes. Keppel Cove is apparently Norse, meaning high hollow of the Horse Ravine. Try saying that 3 times quickly. Keppel Cove isn't the only Norse thing around here, but apparently Raise, the name itself, is not, as the name suggests, highness. It comes from the Old Norse Hreysi, H-R-E-Y-S-I, Hreysi, meaning can. Hreysi. I'm not fluent in Old Norse myself. I can get by, obviously. I can order a meal and a drink, but that's about it, I'm afraid. The pony path, which I keep wanting to call a donkey path, but let's not get bogged down in species, meanders, or zigzags if you prefer, all the way up towards Whiteside. And then when we hit the ridge, we'll turn right and head up to Raise, and then retrace our steps back down. As the cloud lifts, Helvellyn comes into view around the bend, with Lower Man and the start of Swirral Edge, which itself leads up to Catstycam. Off to the right, the last little zigzags before we hit the crest. Making good progress. The view is now special from this angle. Who needs striding edge? We're making pretty good time, and I'm starting to wonder whether it's worth adding Nethermost Pike to our route. We'll have a look when we get to the top of Helvellyn, because it's only a little way beyond that. And it is another Wainwright. There you go, that is Raise, and it is awesome! 883 metres, 2,897 feet. It's near the centre of the Helvellyn range, a nearly 7-mile run of hills of over 2,000 feet. Okie dokes, let's crack on, heading south towards Helvellyn via Whiteside. There you go, that's Whiteside, 863 metres, 2,831 feet. Technically Whiteside is the name of the western slope of this hill, but Wainwright and everyone since Wainwright has called this Whiteside, so I would say this is now Whiteside. From here we head on south up to Lower Man and the fairly busy looking path up to Helvellyn. This is Lower Man, which is not a Wainwright, but let's take a minute to appreciate it. It's got its little cairn, little pile of stones, an amazing view. Okie dokes, onwards to Helvellyn itself. I'm not sure there's much difference between these two paths. I think one is directly to the summit and one is via the cairn by the top of Swirral Edge. I'm going to take the left-hand one just because of the view. That is not the top. This is the top. There you go, that's Helvellyn, 950 metres, 3,120 feet. Third highest point in England, after Scafell and Swirral Pike. I hadn't planned on it, but as Nethermost Pike is just there, I'm going to go and do Nethermost Pike as well, which will bring our tally of Wainwrights up to 5 by the end of the day, once we've done Catstycam as well. There are several memorials on Helvellyn, but this is quite a nice one. This is to mark where the first aeroplane ever landed on a mountain in Great Britain. On this spot, on the 22nd of December 1926, John Leeming and Bert Hinkler landed an Avro 585 Gosport here, and after a short stay flew back to Woodford. There you go, that's Nethermost Pike, 891 metres, 2,924 feet. Another advantage of coming over to Nethermost Pike is you get another perspective on Striding Edge, and you can see exactly how busy it is. This is a Wednesday, and I can count, I'd say, a couple of dozen people dotted around, quite a few of them clustering around the bad step. From here we're going to head back up to Helvellyn, and then over to Swirral Edge, and then down towards Catstycam, our 5th and final Wainwright of the day. There we go, nearly back to the top. Wasn't too taxing, was it? From a little bit further round, we'll start our descent down Swirral Edge. It's a little scrambly, it's not too bad, so you just have to take it carefully. Thinking about it, I don't know if the flight fellas, Bert and John, do you think they brought the plaque with them and just dumped it out the side of the plane? This is where we landed. Mark it here, thank you. I reckon that's the worst of it done. Talk about famous last words. There we go, that is the worst of it. There was a bit more after the last bit, but this is reasonably straightforward, and then it becomes a path. Do you remember those? We used to have those in the olden days. So that, my friends, was Swirral Edge. No squirrels were harmed in the making of this film. From here we just head on up to Catstycam. We'll come to that in a second, and then head on back down in due course. It's a lot of fun, that. I think you might enjoy it. I was about to say it's a fun little hill, this one, but it's not little at all. It's just because we start the ascent from quite a high saddle. Apparently Catstycam means hen-comb-shaped crest with a steep path frequented by wildcat. Sadly, there are no wildcats here. There you go, that's Catstycam. 890 metres, 2,920 feet. Sometimes known as Catstycam, or Catstycam, or Catstycam. Whatever you call it, it's a beautiful mountain. And on a day like today, it is almost unsurpassed. Whereas Helvellyn is, at most times of the year, quite busy, Catstycam is largely empty. Wainwright said, if Catstycam stood alone, remote from its fellows, it would be one of the finest peaks in Lakeland. It has nearly, but not quite, the perfect mountain form, with true simplicity in its soaring lines and a small pointed top. A real summit that falls away on all sides. From here we're going to head down east along the eastern edge of Catstycam, back down towards Glenridding. What a day! I know I've been saying that a lot recently, but we've had some amazing days. And this is an absolutely beautiful day. Come on then. This is not a bad way off. It's a little slippy, a little ziggy and or zaggy, but it's not steep, it's pretty straightforward, and you can see exactly where it takes you. There we go, back on the path. Pretty plain sailing from here, just straight back down to Glenridding. Pretty soon we'll be down at the level of Glenridding Beck. These are a lovely set of steps. Now that is a lovely bit of kit. We are back on the path that takes us to the road and then down into Glenridding. Well, there we go. The road just gently winds into Glenridding. Well, that's about it from me. Thank you very much for watching, if indeed you still are. If you've enjoyed this, do please like and subscribe. And join us another time, hopefully, for another Wainwright walk. Stay safe. Whee! It's near the centre of the Helvellyn range, a 7-mile run of over 2,000 feet from thingy there to there. Can't remember now. There's a cold wind but a warm sun, so I have a hot head and cold hands.